All right, it is hella cold and windy in San Antonio right now, but I'm here at the academy. In today's video, I'm actually going to be doing a kind of a mic'd up session. So I'm actually going to be hitting my session with the camera on, obviously, and the mic attached to me, and I'm going to be giving my kind of talk over through kind of what it is that I'm working on, what I'm focusing on with each exercise. I've already done my warm up. I'm just grabbing the mic from the truck, and we're going to get after it. So let's have some fun today. All right, so I'm hitting lateral pogos, just working on balls of feet, making sure that my heels aren't hitting the ground. I think that you're probably going to find that my chain is getting in the way here. Just kind of scratching against the, see if I can do something about it. So balls of the feet, just trying to feel like the foot, the ankle and the calf is really switching on here. Just making sure that I'm being reactive with the ground. One thing I see a lot with athletes is very much that they don't use the ground very well. Oh man, that pre-workout drink has made me burp. Lemon lime flavor. You see a lot of the time with athletes that they don't use the ground very well, so they're not using the balls of the feet. They tend to kind of land flat-footed and they're not really explosive. And so I really like to see that athletes can use the ground well. And so we do like pogos, lateral pogos, all that kind of stuff. Make sure our athletes are being explosive, but reactive off the ground as well. So just the one set of this today. I'm gonna go single leg lateral pogos now and just work that 10-yard range. So I'm going down on the one foot, back on the same foot, and then I'll switch it over and I'll get the other leg. Again, this is just reactive work. It's low level plyometrics just to build up that tissue strength in that lower limb. And it's oftentimes for me, the one piece that gets ignored a little bit because it's so simple and so easy that it almost becomes boring, that people don't want to do it. Oh man, right, I'm gonna do the left leg and then we'll move on. Okay, so I know I'm a bit away from the camera, but I know you can still hear me. What we've got here is a set of cones set up. We've got 5 cones set up, 3 yards apart. We're doing what's called a decel series, and it's basically where I'm gonna attack the cone and then I'm gonna break down into the cone. First time I do this, I'm happy to use as many steps as it takes for me to break down, boom, get to a stop, and I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna reset and then I'm gonna go through each cone so you can see it. As soon as I've done that once, I'm gonna go down to 2 steps. So as I drive up to that cone, I'm gonna go step, step. And I want you to be able to hear me stabbing the ground with my feet, okay? As soon as I've done that one, I'm gonna go down into a 1 step. So I'm just gonna attack the cone, boom, get out, boom, get out, okay, for each one. I've got 5, I think you can only see 4 on the camera, but still, it is what it is. So again, I'm gonna attack that cone first time, and I'm just gonna use as many steps or multi-steps as it takes to get to the stop point. So again, 2-point stance, boom, good. Reset, and then go again. So boom, reset. And then last one. So as soon as I've done that, I'm gonna head back and I'm gonna go into a 2-step. So again, like I said, I wanna hear and then stop. So it should be 2 loud stabs into the ground and I'm hitting that stop point. If you notice on that first run, I stopped with my left foot forward on every single one. I will do this again and make sure that my right foot is in front so I can do that work on both, because this is deceleration. So I wanna be able to decelerate on both my right and my left leg. But 2 steps on this one. Again, same thing, I'm landing left foot, moving on. I will do the same again on my right foot. This time, it's just 1 big stab on that left leg. So you can see I'm being really aggressive with that left leg. Boom, stabbing it into the ground and then getting into that next one. You can also see that I've kind of built up here where I've stopped, stood up, reset, gone again. But with each one that I've done, I've hit that ground, stayed in position, gone on to the next one. And that's the kind of thing we're looking at when we do a decel series. So going on to our next exercise, I've done my right leg on the decel series. I'm going into our resisted assisted lateral shuffles, okay? So typically I would say if you have a partner, use a partner. I don't have one, so this is where we get a little bit creative, and we've got the band attached to a rack. You can do the same thing if you don't have a partner. What I'm doing here is I'm gonna put that band about waist height, and I have the band around my waist, kind of hips. I'm gonna shuffle out until I've got some decent tension with the band. From there, I'm gonna make my way back, and the band is gonna pull me back towards the rack. So I'm really looking at here, driving out against the band, against the resistance, but then I'm gonna use that resistance as assistance to bring myself back in. So it's kind of like this challenged resistance, but then like an overspeed to bring myself back. I still have to be able to control this, so I wanna stay in control with my body and let the band do its thing to kind of create some overspeed for me. Again, we're moving at maybe 3 to 5 yards. That band's gonna add that resistance, but I'm also then gonna use it for assistance. Let's see it. So there's 4 on the right, turning myself around, going 5 yards out. 3 to 5 yards is probably about right here. Working on that other side now. So push, control coming back, push, use the assistance of the band, coming back. Oh. So on this speed and agility quickness day, I want to see athletes be able to move direction or change direction or be able to stop quickly, because it's that ability to control the body and move off. If you play a sport, contact sport, field or court sport, where you have to be able to change direction quickly, if we don't train that skill, we will not be able to do it on the court. It's a trainable skill that benefits athletes more than they realize. Okay, so I'm moving on. I'm actually getting real hot now. The fact that it's so cold outside, let me just check. It's 5 degrees. I think it's like 39 degrees Fahrenheit here in San Antonio today. But the fact that it's so cold outside, yeah, I'm in here with a fleecy hoodie on, and now I'm starting to get hot. Props to the pre-workout. Right, I got a cone set up. I have 3 yard spacing. We're gonna go lateral, short shuttle. I'm trying to get back to this center cone as quick as possible. So if you think of a pro agility drill, we're in position, boom, get on out, break down, turn, break down, get on out. We're doing that 5-10-5, but in a 3 to 6 yard range, okay? So I'm going 3 yards left, 6 yards right, 3 yards left again to get past that middle cone. I'm gonna do 2 to my left, 2 to my right. This is what I'm programming, but you're only gonna see maybe 1 to the left, 1 to the right, okay? So I'm in position, boom, get out, and then back through. And so the big thing I'm trying to do here is I'm taking what we did with the band, I'm applying it to kind of more of a drill type movement setting that's really gonna force me to see how well can I get laterally. So I've done 1 to the left, I'll go 1 to the right so you can see it. And this is part of the testing that I did on that testing day. So it's still technically a drill, but I tested it. So I want to see that, can I start to make some improvements going left and right and see where those sticking points are. And I know that going to my right is harder for me off my left leg. Getting across is fine, but anytime I'm moving right off my left, that's just challenging. It's just real challenging for me. And so this is good. It's a predetermined drill, but I can practice my technique and I can work on it. And it's gonna make me a better athlete. This is the last drill that we're gonna be doing. It's quarter arc run. And so basically, if you think of a circle, we're taking just half that circle, half again. We've got that quarter circle here and out, okay? I'm practicing my ability to run and drag myself around a corner, so I'm leaning in and being able to get out as quick as I can, okay? I'm gonna work maybe 3 to 4 reps on this side, and then I'm gonna flip it over and I'll do 3 to 4 reps on the other side. I'm probably just gonna show you maybe 2 reps, one from this angle, and then maybe one from down the line, but I'm gonna hit maybe 3 reps on each side, 4 reps on each side, just to really train my ability to get round an angle, whether I'm having to make my way around a player on the court, maybe I'm trying to have to move around or run a route, for example, on the field, and I know I'm gonna have to hit that kind of angle. I know that I can train this and get around that corner. So big thing I'm looking at here is once I get set up, I can see the cones, so it's still predetermined, but I wanna feel like I'm hugging the cones with my right side. I'm gonna have a little bit of a lean into the cones and get on out as quick as I can, okay? I'm probably gonna finish up by the wall. I'll do that first rep, come back, and I'll switch the camera around so you can see it from down the line. So again, in position, drive, boom, 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 and then get on out, okay? I'm using my arms as I drive around that cone. The last thing I wanna see an athlete do is trying to make their way around that cone, and they're literally just like static with their arms, and they're just really lazy with their feet. I wanna see you attacking the cones all the way through, hitting the angle and a little bit of a lean as you bring it around and kind of sweeping all the way around that corner. Okay, so I just said that I would get one from that side and then one from this side. I've set it up pretty close to where I'm gonna be running, but I really wanted to get it relatively close so you can actually see me cut around that corner and then get on out. So I want you to see me leaning, using my arms, using my legs to get around this corner. So again, same thing, get set up, boom, and get on out. Whew. Okay, so moving on, I'm going into kind of my strength section, and my main compound exercise today is a back squat. I'm working on my eccentric control. So it's why it's a little bit lighter. This is actually gonna be my first set. I'm gonna be hitting 6 reps, but I'm working on a 4-second eccentric phase. And so I wanna see that when I'm in position with that bar across my back and I've got my feet set, I'm really controlled down. I'm probably not gonna go below parallel, just from a perspective of when I do my accessory moves, I'm gonna get a lot more range of motion, so I'm still gonna train that strength in that range of motion. But for right now, for this, I wanna make sure that I'm getting positionally correct, train through a different range of motion a little bit more, but also still get that strength and that power up. So typically what I'll suggest with athletes, minimum thumb width out is the grip width for the hands. From here, I'm gonna bring it under, bring my head under, and I'm gonna create a shelf for the bar to sit on. From here, when I stand up now, that bar feels like it's connected to my body, that as soon as I step back, I've got complete control. My feet are gonna be just about shoulder width, toes are maybe kind of 10 degrees turned out. I'm really trying to feel like my core is braced here, and then from here, I'm gonna break at both the hips and the knees to sit down. So again, squatting down probably just above parallel, 4 seconds lowering down. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 3, 1, 4. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then in. So that was a pretty solid first set. I feel really comfortable with that weight. It's not too much of an issue. I think the big thing for me is I always like to have that first set, maybe a little bit lighter, and then second and third set, and definitely fourth set, I'll be pushing on and trying to really kind of maximize the weight on that set. So that felt really good. I'd probably put maybe a 25 on each side to go 185. Again, keep that tempo, keep the form as the main aim. You've seen I've put the band on around my knees. My second exercise that I'm gonna be doing is gonna be just a band assisted squat. The big thing I like to reiterate here is just kind of the outside of my hips need to be stabilizing my squat when I squat. So I really like to have this as an accessory move, just because the band is gonna try and pull my knees in, and I have to stabilize more through the outside of my hips. I'm hitting 8 reps here. Again, just really trying to ingrain what I've just done with the squat there. There's 8. Planned exercise is done. I managed to hit 205 on my last 2 sets. I thought I might be able to go to 225 on the last one. It actually didn't feel great on the 3rd set, so I wanted to clean it up a little bit. So I went 205 for both the 3rd and the 4th set. Felt a lot better on the last one. Just cleaner, just controlled a little bit more. Didn't really feel like I was moving around a whole lot, so that was pretty good. As soon as I'm done, I'm going to accessory moves now. So first one I'm doing here, dumbbell reverse lunge. And so I'm working on staying core tight, stepping back. I want a good step back, but I don't want to be stepping back too far. Front knee goes over the toe, driving on back up to the start. Again, as I step back, that front knee still goes forward. It's not staying back. I'm loading up into my quad, but also my hamstring and my glute on that lead leg, okay? I'm going 8 on each side. I'm going 8 on each leg. I got 40-pound dumbbells here. Again, 8 on each side. And the big thing for me here is I need to feel that my lead leg is doing the work. I don't want to feel like my back leg is doing the work, because then I just feel like I'm losing the point of doing a reverse lunge, because I need to feel that my glute and my hamstring is what's doing the work. I actually think that was maybe 9, but again, it's 8 on each leg. I'm really trying to feel like I'm staying controlled. That lead leg is doing the work, so that knee goes over the toe, but I load up into my hip and into my hamstrings. This is a really good corrective exercise to be doing. If you don't do this, this could be a really great way of balancing out maybe a quad dominant exercise like a squat, that you start hitting this for that accessory. It gets your heart rate up as well. Anything when you do like single leg, single arm, especially lower body, because of the fact that you can maybe do a little bit more weight, it's really taxing, gets your heart rate up. And obviously you can hear in my breathing, it's a really good one. This is completely off topic, by the way, but I've been talking about it the last couple of days with the new year, that I'm hugely grateful at the fact that Elite Training Academy, my business that I set up 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago now, has continued to grow year on year. And I'm hoping that we can obviously serve more people and deliver content to more people with the YouTube series like this. It's somewhat difficult sometimes because we don't necessarily get the in-depth conversations. You don't really see them, like everything's curated on social media and on YouTube, but maybe that's something that we can do later on and talk about. But yeah, just the fact that we're 2.5 years in now and we've been growing year on year, I'm hugely grateful for that. I feel like there are cool things gonna happen with ETA. I don't know when, but we just keep putting the work in, day out. If you've seen some of the t-shirts that I've worn over the previous episodes, you'll have seen a just work t-shirt, and that's kind of my mantra. So I'll have conversations with athletes, and there's huge value in just doing the work. Just showing up is sometimes what leads us to the success that we're looking for, because we showed up and we were 1% better than we were yesterday because of the choice we made today. And so that's hugely what Just Work is about. So if you've seen that, it's kind of the thing that we have here at the Academy. Man, I'm pretty sure that was 8 again. So if you're watching this video and you've been counting and I've just done 9 reps, I apologize. We've got 3 sets here, so I've got 1 more to do. I'm gonna end this clip here and I'll move on to the next video. All right, going on to our next exercise. I'm gonna be using the GHD here. We're gonna be doing I think that's the right one. We're gonna be doing a Nordic hamstring curl, but I also like throwing in kind of the GHD kind of back extension as well. So I like to put those 2 moves together. So if you haven't ever seen this before, I think this is a great piece of equipment for glute and ham development. and you can target and do so many different things with this piece of equipment. That's why I like it so much. And so the big thing that I'm looking at here is I'm gonna have my feet in, and I'm gonna have my heels pressed up against the pad, but also the bar just above my ankles. From here, I'm holding myself up. I'm gonna lower myself out, and I'm also gonna flex over. You might not be able to see me here, but I'm flexing over. Now from here, I'm gonna pull myself up and use the back of my legs to do my Nordic curl. So again, I'm extending out, flexing at the back, and then pulling myself up. I'm going 8 reps here, really targeting the back of the legs. And kind of through the back of the hips. And into the lower back as well. I can't talk to the camera and count. So again, if anyone was just counting that set and I did 9 reps, I would apologize, but it's just me doing extra work. So it is what it is. This is a really cool exercise if you're looking to develop your hamstrings. I find sometimes with the Nordic curl, especially off the ground, like someone holding your heels, you're kind of reliant upon the other person. And sometimes it's whether or not they're applying too much enough pressure to the ankles and to the heels that it can hold you in position. I trust this a little bit more. And so I feel like I get a little bit more out of it. So yeah, if you haven't ever done this before, it's definitely worth checking it out. I am supersetting this with a dumbbell glute bridge. So I'm gonna take you over there, show you the dumbbell glute bridge. I see people trying this all the time of like how to get it in position, but when you get a super heavy dumbbell, it can be kind of difficult to get in position with the dumbbell across the hips, especially when you get heavy. And so the biggest thing that I like to do here, it looks a little strange, but basically cuddle, spoon the dumbbell from here, holding it in position, just go ahead and rotate over, feet flat on the floor, and you're good to go. So you're already in position. Chin stays tucked, pelvis should stay tilted a little bit, kind of neutral position is best, I think, personally. From here, as I drive up, I want to squeeze my glutes and back down. Squeeze my glutes and back down. I once watched a YouTube video of a yoga instructor, and I think they may have been either French or maybe Canadian, but it was the way that they said glutes. Every time I say it now, it's kind of screwed me up. They were like, squeeze your glutes. And so it's kind of done me in every time I say that. Whenever I'm demonstrating, that's exactly what I think of. But I like pairing these two exercises, A, because I can be a little more glute focused, but B, I can be hamstring focused over there. So they're both hinge movements of the hips, especially the way that I'm doing the Nordic curl over there with the back extension. But I can target my hamstrings and my glutes over there. I can target a little more of my glutes and then hamstrings here. So we have that kind of primary and secondary exercise being matched with the opposing primary and secondary muscles over there, which I think that's a really cool pairing. And so I got 3 sets here, and then we've got core and conditioning, and then we're done. Okay, so hamstrings and glutes are done. Finishing it off now, I'm going core exercise. We've got a Palov press. With a Palov press, we're going hands together, nice stable position, pressing straight out and straight back. I'm going 10 on the one side, 10 on the other side for 2 sets. Again, just really trying to focus on shoulders, hips, and feet being square. I want to bring that weight to my chest. This is my start position. I'm going to press out slow and back slow. The big thing here is while I'm facing this way and I'm pressing out, the left side of my core, my trunk, is really having to stabilize as I'm pressing out and back. So I really don't want to feel that my shoulders are rotating, or my torso is rotating, or my pelvis is rotating to balance out and make the exercise easier. And so I really want to feel that everything stays tight and stiff. But there's so many pause moments when you're talking about gym exercises. So if you just caught that one, yeah, I'm sorry. 1, But again, now it's the right side of my trunk is having to stabilize as I'm pressing. The one big thing that I'm trying to get here is that my trunk is staying stable as I press out and back. I'm really trying to feel like I'm pressing straight out rather than kind of away from the anchor point or towards the anchor point because the weight is pulling me in. I don't want to be manipulating is basically the way I've put it. I want to be making sure that I'm staying tight through my trunk to do the exercise and execute effectively. And that's going to give me the best chance of obviously staying engaged to the trunk, but also getting the benefits as well. So I hope you like this video. It's a little bit different, me talking to the camera, but go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you all in the next one. I probably need to be doing a mobility video and maybe even a nutrition video as well to go along with this series. I haven't done one yet. I'm struggling with my nutrition, so maybe it could be a good kind of kickstart to actually get things a little more on track. So I'll see you in the next video. Take care.